live. Welcome to the Extraordinary Women Show. This is Lynne Bardowski, host and producer. This is a brand new show. We're actually on episode 3, and this is all about interviewing extraordinary women that are the women we know in our own backyard, in our community, that are just rocking it in direct sales and really sharing those success stories, how women are building sustainable businesses, earning 6-figure incomes, and building $1 million downline organizations. So welcome to the show, Karen. How are you?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations on your new show. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. I just like creating shows.
I can see that.
It's just fun. It gives me something to do. So yeah, I really felt that this was an important topic because, like I said, there's so many women that I've met through $1 Million Party Girl, through my book, through our Visionista group. And I really think we need to get more of these stories out there, right? To really share the best advice, examples, inspire our teams to dream bigger, which is really what my message is all about. So I'm so excited to have you on the show because you have some great wisdom. So you're an executive director with Pink Zebra. And what is your anniversary with Pink Zebra this year? How many years are you celebrating?
It'll be 6, coming on 6. The company is just turned 6. I started a few months right after they, opened up.
And you have an award-winning organization you've built in a pretty short period of time, pretty fast and furious. I know you're one of the top teams, over a $5 million downline. What?
I know. Isn't that impressive?
It really is. And that's why I want to get these stories out there, because people have no idea, the kind of income, number one, that you can make in our industry. And I love this industry and really just kind of want to shine that light on all the amazing success stories that are out there. And so you're also a top recruiter. I know you have sponsored over 100 qualified consultants that started and sold over $500 in their first month, over 100 in the last 2 years. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. I'm the #1 sponsor in the company, actually, since they opened. I'm proud of that. I have a great team. I try to work really hard with them to get them motivated, because the first month when they start, well, actually, first 90 days is when really your business will take off. And if you have a great foundation, then your business is going to, go places. So I really try to work hard with my new people.
So obviously that is your superpower.
Yes, I would say that would be my superpower if I had a superpower.
I think you do. And I also want to welcome our YouTube viewers. So we also share this show on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, hi, thank you.
I can see a lot of my team names popping up here on the screen.
Yes. It looks like they're all in the house cheering you on. We love that. Again, that's really, I think, one of the things I love about this industry. It really is all about women helping women and supporting each other. Marty's saying, can't wait to hear from you. She just started in April. Yay,
yeah, our team is like a big family, I think. We meet on these incentive trips or our rallies or our reunions. We call our convention a reunion. And I see my team more than I see my family sometimes. And to me, they are my family. So it's nice to see that they're on here.
That is so true. I mean, I look at the people that I met, over 2 decades in direct sales, and they become your best friends. And, that says a lot about the longevity and the relationships that we build in this business. So please share this if you're watching. We would love to get Karen's story out there. Share this with your direct sales group. It doesn't matter what your business is, right? Again, this is all about women helping women and sharing those success stories, inspiring other people that they can dream bigger and achieve all the abundance they want in this business. So, Karen, let's talk a little bit about recruiting, since that is your superpower.
Okay.
So,
I feel like I should have like a shield on and a Wonder Woman thing.
You should. You absolutely. I think we all should have one. We all should have a little Wonder Woman T-shirt. Absolutely. Right. What is it? What are you saying? Are you recruiting most of these, the new consultants at your parties?
I do a lot of my recruiting mostly online, actually. I'm a very social person. I have a degree in art and I like marketing. And so that's my interest. And so I try to get on a lot of social media sites. Actually, that's how I found you, trying to improve myself, looking up, I can't remember what I was looking up, but I discovered you. And so, yeah, I do a lot, I would say, like more than 90% of my recruiting online. So yes, online.
Okay, so let's break it down a little bit, because it's easy to say you can recruit online, but obviously you're doing
right.
It's like, just go online, you'll recruit people.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Tell us what that process looks like. Do you have a system for recruiting? How are you sharing information about your company and getting, attracting people to a little attraction marketing?
Well, I wish I was more organized than I am, to tell you the truth. That's one of my things that I'm not. But I do make it a point. I work out of my house, so I do this full time. I get up, first thing I do is come check my emails. I come downstairs and Facebook is a very large part of my marketing. I do a lot of Facebook ads, and I try to blog. I haven't done it in a bit, but now I'm working on Twitter a little bit and Instagram. So I don't have a real system. I do try to post something once a day, and I do have an assistant that helps me like you do. So she actually helps me a lot as well. So.
Well, that kind of makes us feel better because it's more relatable, right? There is no perfect way, but you're making it work. So where are you meeting the people that are joining your team? Is it in Facebook groups? Is it through a Facebook ad? Tell us a little bit more about that.
I have a lot of people right now on my Facebook page, and I do tell all my new people that's one of the most important things, is to start a Facebook page and let people see you. Another thing that I've been doing a lot of recently is YouTube. So I've been trying to get myself out there on video like we're doing now, so people can actually see you and kind of get a feel for who you are as a person, so they can connect. I just had somebody message me and she said, you know what, I want to make sure that the person I sign with is somebody I connect with. I've been in direct sales, and I know from past that sometimes people sponsor you and then not, leave you in the dark. And now I know to interview. So I had someone today that, said that to me. I said, hey, go on my YouTube. You could see what I'm all about. People want to see a face so they could relate to you. So I think that's very, very important. So I try to make myself accessible that way.
Yeah, having a YouTube channel, I think, is super smart. It builds the like, know, and trust factor, which is the reason people do business with you. YouTube is owned by Google, so I'm sure you're coming up in people searching, right?
I hope so.
I'm sure you are. I stalked you. I stalked your YouTube channel as well. So that's great advice. And yeah, definitely have a Facebook page. Are you using Facebook Live for your business?
I have been doing that, yes, not as much as I want to be, but yes, I have been using Facebook Live. I use Facebook Live for a lot of my team training as well, so I do use it for that. But I would like to do more video, so that's something that I'm trying to do more of. And again, that's why I found you. You have some really great tips, so I'm learning with you as well. So. Well,
thank you. Is this have you used Be Live? We're on broadcasting. For those of you that want to know, we are broadcasting. We're actually not on Facebook right now. We're broadcasting to Facebook on Be Live TV, which is how we get to add these fun graphics and show your comments on the screen, which is one of my favorite things.
I love Be Live.
Be Live. And so I know you've been embracing, video marketing and especially live streaming and just jumping in. So let's talk a little bit about jumping in. So you jumped into your business. How did your first month go? Because I know you said you had been in direct sales. Prior to that, you had some direct sales experience. So what did your launch look like? Did you have a plan, or did you just...
Oh, when I started with Pink Zebra, I had no plan. This was like, I don't know how many companies I had tried before. And it was just the kit. My daughter loved the kit. And I said, you know what? It was on sale. I'll grab it. I was a kidnapper, had no intentions of doing anything with it. And my first month with the company, they did an incentive, which involved recruiting. So of course, a challenge. I love a good challenge. And they actually were paying us for each person that we sponsored. And so it just took off from there. So from what went from just buying a kit, and then actually when I got the kit, I actually was sponsoring people before I even got my kit. believe it or not. So, and then when I got the kid in, and I said, wow, there's something to this, so I promoted pretty quickly. I promoted to manager the first month, and in 9 months I hit director, which is one of the top positions. So it was a wild ride, and it's still a wild ride.
Still is. So what is some of the verbiage you're using to sponsor? Is there, certain phrases you use when people are interested to get the conversation going, or do you just kind of take their lead?
Well, it depends on what I'm targeting. If it's a sale, obviously I'm going to get the word out there because we're doing a sale right now. If there's a sale, or just try to appeal to whoever the market is, like working with, stay-at-home moms or people who are struggling financially, or, whatever. So I try to appeal to that, or I'll say, does your 9 to 5 give you like incentive trips? Because some people like to travel. So, you have to appeal, like even if you're at a home party, you just have to listen. A lot of sponsoring is listening. And I don't think people realize that. And you have to listen, and then you can fit your business into the conversation. You can always fit it in there and kind of find what they're looking for.
That is an excellent nugget of wisdom, right? That's really all sponsoring is. You don't have to know all the answers. You just have to be a really good listener and solve problems, right? Help people get exactly what they want. And I know you have earned a lot of trips. Have you earned every trip since you started with Pink Zebra?
Well, the first one I didn't even try for because I had my daughter at home. I did get the iPad, so I did earn all. Now, I don't want to say win. We say win and it's earn. We earn.
That's true.
So, I did earn all the incentives. The first one was the iPad, and then all these people came back from the trip and said how fabulous it was, and I'm like, you know what? We're gonna try for the next one. So yeah, since then I've earned all of them. Trips for 2 actually. So they've been really fabulous trips too. Trips of a lifetime.
Congratulations. That's I probably one of my favorite perks of direct selling.
Right.
Is the ability to travel free. Again, like we need to get the word out about this, right? And I know I love seeing some of your photos on Facebook there. So you do a great job of telling that story without, being salesy.
Right. Little subtle pictures and little hints. If I'm going somewhere, or if I have something in the background I always try to have something, a product or something on my counter, or, a shirt on or something. People know. It's funny because I see my friends out, I'll be at the store. Hey, you're doing really good with that pink zebra. I see you on Facebook. So people look at what you post. So it's very important.
That is so true. And I think that's why it's really important to filter what you're posting on Facebook and not be a hot mess.
Yeah, it's tempting sometimes. But yes, you have to realize that your potential person, your team is out there and people are watching you. I mean, if you're over there, cursing and everything else, people tend to probably not want to.
Not good.
Not good, probably.
Not good to talk. Not good to get into the drama zone. But yeah, you're being very strategic. My earbud doesn't want to stay in.
Yeah, these are new for me, these earbuds.
They look fabulous on you.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, you're being very strategic, and I think that's smart. Again, there's a way to talk about your business, and trust me, people are watching, even if they're not commenting or liking posts, they are scrolling through, checking out.
Mm-hmm.
They know exactly what's going on. And we are going to, by the way, take a question from our viewing audience.
Oh, look at this.
And what is this show?
Yes, it is. I'm very impressed.
So, please ask a question in the comments. Your $5 million organization. What do you want to know? There's a lot of wisdom. And so, as Karen said, she, with Pink Zebra, fast and furious, but actually has quite a long longevity in direct sales prior to joining Pink Zebra. So you bring a lot to the table, right? From you've been there, done that, and bought the t-shirt.
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Is what I like to say. So let's talk about, since you started so many consultants that have started successfully, and this is one of the biggest questions I get, right? We see consultants come in and they go.
Right.
That's one of the biggest frustrations for direct sales leaders. So what are you doing? Do you have an onboarding program when somebody joins your team? What is your advice for a new consultant just getting started?
That's two different things. So yeah, when I get some new people start up, first of all, I have Facebook groups. So, and our group is very supportive. So I always add them to that group. And if I'm not available, which I usually am because I work way too much sometimes, I'll answer, and then somebody else will answer if I'm not available. But I do try to follow up with them, and I check in with them and see how you're doing. Do you need this, or what do you need? Or I'll email them. So I really try to stay on top of them. And then one thing too, that I don't want to be too overbearing. So I kind of feel out the person and see what their goals are and what they want, and then go from there, because that turns people off, because not everybody's doing this business for the same reason. Some people want it just, for the discount, or, just as a little hobby. So I try to figure out what it is, or ask them what it is that they want, and then help them. If they want to be a leader, I'm very excited about that if they are, and I work with them according to what they want. And most people are to come on board most excited. Their first 30 days is when they're at their most excited. And so that's when you got to hit the ground running and schedule all your parties and get all those sales in. So that's just keep them motivated from day one, and it usually helps.
That is great advice. So you're really focusing on helping them get what they want, and then making a plan to get there. I'm just checking the questions here. I just saw a great question.
I can't see anything on here.
We're going to put this on the screen. So Amy is asking, what do you say to someone who feels bad for asking someone they haven't spoken to in a while to host a party?
Well, if you haven't talked to them in a while, I guess that would depend, because then somebody might say, yeah, hey, you haven't talked to me in so long. Maybe I would say, try not to let those people, stay away from you so long. Maybe have a system to check in with them so they don't feel like it's a long time, and, stay on top of them. And you could, go ahead.
You probably don't want to lead with, do you want to book a party?
Right. You gotta say, how are you? Whatever. I remember. Or you could look up their order form. I have order forms I keep. Say, hey, you know what, Susie? I noticed that you liked this particular item. Guess what? It's on sale. I know I haven't talked to you in a bit, but it's on sale. Okay, maybe it's not really on sale, but you put it on sale. So there's ways that you could think of to start the conversation. So maybe something like that.
And again, you're making it about them, which could lead to other opportunities, right? Get those icebreakers. So I think that's smart. So really make it about customer service, and then follow the conversation and see where that takes you. And, a great way to reach out to people you haven't talked to in a while is to have a party, relaunch. If you haven't had a grand opening party in a while, have another one.
Right.
And invite them. And then
or do a Facebook party, Lynn.
Or do a Facebook party. Do both, right? Does not want to say in my ear. Do an, Facebook Live, and combine it with that in-party. I think I broke my earbud. I combine it with the in-party experience. I also see Kelly's asking about your expansion into Canada.
Oh my, that's happening soon.
She's saying, is it scaring you?
No, I am so excited. As a matter of fact, I'm headed to Calgary. So we have a product. We actually have a launch, an international launch, October 7th. We're coming to Canada. So it's super exciting for the company. And I'm excited to start a team there and kind of help them have build teams like I've built here. So Kelly is somebody I'm actually working with. So hey, Kelly.
Okay. And I saw that you posted on Facebook. So why don't you tell everybody kind of how you're using Facebook to introduce that new market? I saw that you posted a question to see if anybody knew anyone in Canada.
Right. Yeah. Well, we figured, hey, connect with your people that and just say, we're coming to Canada. If you happen to know anybody, let us know if they're looking for a ground floor opportunity, because use your friends as resources, as references. So everybody's happy to give a reference. If they're not interested, they might have a friend that's interested. And you know what? I got a really good response to that post. So
you did?
Yes.
Yeah. I think we forget the gold mine that's sitting in our customer base, right? Just reach out to people and ask for those referrals, ask for what you want. Shannon is asking, and this is a great question, especially with the team that you've built, Once you have developed somebody to move up in the company, what's your number one piece of advice for someone that has built as a new leader?
I think it's really important to keep with your team and connect with your team. And I like to work with my, we break it down to levels. I work with all my team members, but if you make your process duplicatable, so for instance, the people that you bring in and that you sponsor, if you teach them what you do and they duplicate what you do, then it makes it easier for them to do the same for their people as well. So my people know, I start a group and I, connect with them and I teach them to do this. I try to be very informative, and my people do the same with theirs. I know Shannon also is a team member of mine, so I know she's aspiring to promote, and I think she's going to promote very soon. So, so that's what I would say. Make it duplicatable. Make it so it's something that your team sees that you're doing. First of all, they have to see that you're working it. You got to walk the walk. So it shows them what they should do with their team as well. So to be there for your team.
Yes, we've got to get in the trenches and do the work. Don't ask somebody to do something that you were not willing to do yourself.
Exactly.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about obstacles, because obviously, I know you've been on fire since starting with Pink Zebra, but I'm sure you've hit a couple, potholes in the road along your success journey. How do you overcome those obstacles or frustrations or days when you just need to kind of reboot?
I try to disconnect. Sundays is my day to kind of disconnect from my phone. Me and my husband will take a long ride and I'll have it so I don't have my phone on, because I do tend to work all the time pretty much. So I do try to disconnect. As far as, and sometimes if something's not working out for me, I sometimes get even more motivated. That's what happens with me. If I'm not doing my best, and I'm very competitive also. So I'm very motivated that way. So I turn that around into a plus.
So challenges kind of fire you up.
Yes, exactly. If you give me a challenge, that really makes me want to hit it. So yes, challenges really motivate me.
So you're the person that we all want to sponsor.
Yeah, I do respond very well to challenges. So
yeah, and I think that that's a great identifier, is to look for that. We can identify that hostess, right? That's super motivated. They tend to be great sponsoring leads, or the customer at the party that wants to win all the prizes.
Definitely. I've had my last few Facebook parties, the ones that have gone very well, they're now consultants. So yes, exactly. Usually from your parties, you get your most, recruits, I think.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. You have to be holding parties, find the hostess, let the hostess find the people, right? And that's where you can grow your business really quickly. So let's talk a little bit about leadership. How many leaders do you have on your team right now?
Oh, I don't know how many leaders. I could tell you I have about over 13,000 people on my team. So I do have a lot of the top leaders on my team. Right now I have other directors. I have 2 other directors, an executive director, actually, yeah, 3. Well, I got more than that. I'm talking about my first level. So I do have a lot of leaders on my team. So for us, management is, manager or above. But yes, I have a lot of leaders on our team. Our team is
your team is growing and thriving.
And on fire.
And are there certain qualities that you look for in developing leaders, or that you think it takes to be effective?
Well, definitely you want to ask the person first what their goals are. And sometimes you'll see somebody that's doing well. Like, for instance, I'll see someone that's doing very well with sales, and then ask them and they'll be like, no. And you would think that they would be like, no, I'm just having fun right now. So I think it's really important to ask. Of course, if you see somebody recruiting a lot, then then that's what they want to do. And then you say, hey, I'll work with you and I'll show you what you need to do so you could get, to the next level. So you got to kind of sit back and watch what they do. And some people are late bloomers. Some people don't do anything in their first month. Maybe something happened, or, they just bought the kit and weren't able to start right away. So you never know. You just have to keep watching and see what people do. Yeah,
there's a lot of diamonds in the rough waiting to be develop. That's why you never stop believing in people, right?
Definitely.
So important. So what are your goals for the rest of this year? Tell us where do you want to go by the end of 2017?
Right now, I'm focusing a lot on the Canada launch. So that is something that I'm really, working with, trying to, get that going. And I also working on incentive. We have a new incentive to where are we going this year? The Dominican Republic. So we have a new incentive. So I'm working on that as well. And that's what I'm working on right now.
Vicky's asking, let me put this on the screen because this is a great question. How do you suggest reconnecting with a team member that you haven't spoken to in a while? It's kind of like the question about how do we book a party with somebody we haven't spoken to.
Right. Well, I kind of look at my team a lot. I always look on my reports. I'm one of those type of people that if you know me, you'd be laughing right now. People don't know me because I have like Excel spreadsheets and stuff. So, but I do look at my reports, and I'll look and see if someone had put sales in that hasn't in a long time. Maybe I'll say, hey, what's, how you doing? Or if they haven't, and I knew that in the past they were, excited, I'd say, what's going on? Or, just kind of go and look and see what they're doing. Or even I have a lot of team members on Facebook too, so I can see a lot of times if they're going through something personal, they'll post, so you kind of just have to kind of look every so often and connect if you see the opportunity. I don't know.
It's never been easier, right, to know what's going on in somebody's life. So, but it sounds like you're doing it a little bit more strategically probably than most people. So
yeah, I do look a lot.
What kind of, so you talked about Excel spreadsheets. So it sounds like you really are on top of your numbers.
Well, yeah, I try to be. This year I'm kind of not as I used to be, but yeah, that's me normally, an Excel person.
And so when you're, reaching out and kind of trying to draw back somebody in that might have been inactive, is there something specific? Do you invite them to come to a home party or an online party? How do you get them re-engaged back in the business?
Well, a good time is now, because for our industry, which is home fragrance, it's fall and this is our busiest season. So that's a great opportunity to get in touch with somebody, especially if a new catalog is out, which we've just launched our fall winter catalog. So that is one excellent time to reconnect with someone when a new catalog comes out, and say, hey, you know what? Do you need some holiday cash? Because now's the time to start back up. It's easy for my company anyway, it's really easy to start back up. You just kind of never really go. You go inactive, but it's easy to just pay your website fee and you're back in business. So yeah, that's a very easy way to do that.
So use the catalyst of what's new.
Right.
Whatever's new. There's always something new.
And there is always something new, right?
New product, new catalog, new promotion. Kind of use that as your icebreaker to open the door to have that restart a conversation.
Right.
Very good. Thank you. And so are there any apps that you use to help you be more productive? What are you using to balance all of this?
I'm on my phone all the time, but I don't have an Apple. Okay, so my daughter's been bugging me, so I'm kind of limited in what I could use. I use like Pic Collage. I am a graphic designer by trade, so I have my Mac right now, and that's what I'm broadcasting off of. So I have all the programs, Photoshop and all that, and I use Canva, like you do. And let's see, Be Live and Zoom and all those things. I try to stay very up and current on things. I buy books. I just bought your book. So see, I got a plug for your book, Lynne.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that.
But no, I try to stay current. And that's one thing I definitely try to stay current on, because you know what? That's where it's at. Social media is where it's at. And when you're not, like, even Snapchat, I'm on Snapchat. My daughters are like, what? You're on Snapchat? I haven't quite mastered it yet, but I am on Snapchat. So I try to be current.
I'm on Snapchat. I have two followers, and they are my daughters.
Well, they say that's the place to be. I don't know how for business, but
Yeah, and Instagram, and Instagram.
Facebook is for old timers, I'm told now.
It all depends on who your market is, right?
Yeah, I know.
So here's what's interesting. I'm glad you said that. Here's what's interesting. So my daughters typically are posting on Instagram and then oversharing their day on Snapchat, but they do go through the news feed on Facebook a couple times a day. So they might not be liking or commenting, but they know, kind of like what we said earlier, like people are looking and you don't even realize they're looking. So I feel like the younger generation maybe isn't as posting there as much, but they're following what's going on, even though you might not think they are. All right, one more question, because it's time to wrap it up. If you are always recruiting your host, how do you keep finding new hosts?
That's a really good question, because that's happened I think this month, because we just had a booking blitz. And so I think this month I must have sponsored 4 or 5 of my hostesses. So if you're watching, you know all who you are. That's the same answer as I had before. I just keep a majority of my parties are new parties. They're not existing ones. I mean, you should be contacting your customer base, because that's the hardest part. Once you get a customer, keeping that customer is way easier than getting a new one. But for me, I just keep going on social media, and that's where I meet people. I post it out there. You have to post out there what you want. Post out, hey, I'm looking for women to have Facebook parties. I need so many, girls' night out. I post it. People will respond. Hey, I'm interested. Post what they could earn, and that's how I get new parties, just by posting.
So you're focusing on the new instead of continuing to
Which probably is not the best. I mean, you should still keep, once you have a hostess, you've got to keep on keep connected to your hostess, because they're the ones that are going to rebook for you as well. So it's kind of a balance. I would say it's a fine balance. You have to work with your existing hostesses, because you know what? No might not be, might have been their answer previous, but you never know a hostess that you've worked with for years. It might be the time, maybe their kids left for college or something and they're ready to go, and they say, I always liked what you've done, and I always wanted to be what you are. Yeah. And so it's time. So you never know.
That's so true. And that's why it's important to show up as our best self when we are on social media, because you just never know. And also why it's so important to hostess coach to get those multiple bookings, right? Because when you're getting 2, 3, 4 parties booked at every party, you're not worrying about the person that you just sponsored. And we'll have to save that for another show. Okay. Thank you so much, Karen. I so appreciate you joining us today and sharing your wisdom with everybody.
Well,
you are
thank you.
Amazing. Congratulations on all your success. And the Extraordinary Women Show will be broadcasting every Tuesday. This is our afternoon time slot at 3 o'clock. If you know any extraordinary women in your direct sales organization, please check out the Google form above my head in the post and have them apply to be a guest on the show. We would love to tell their story. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Karen. Everybody have a great rest of the week. Dream bigger.
Bye.
All right. Thanks. Bye.